Welcome everybody to the Wrestling What Ifs. On today's episode, we're mixing things up a little bit.
Literally.
Because we had some complaints. And honestly, I felt this way too. Too many of these, we would get the Wrestling What If, and we would say, yeah, I don't know, nothing would really change. We'd talk about it for a second. And honestly, in real life, that's the way it is. But I've got the Money in the Bank briefcase here.
Are these exclusively what ifs, or is there still numbers in here for cashing
No, the
in?
numbers are where my farts burn into on my chair over there.
Good, I don't have to touch those.
Yeah. So you're gonna go first today.
I have one here,
and we're gonna each, you're gonna give me your fantasy book, and we're gonna get a little silly and fun with these things.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Adrian Mitchell.
Okay.
Says, "What if Brawl Out never happened?"
Ooh. So wait, do you say it or do I say it? Who goes for it? Is it a
I think it's back
thing?
and forth. Yeah. What if Brawl Out never happened? What if CM Punk didn't go off on the Elite?
I like the idea of it being a back and forth because, like, I start the story, you continue the story. Okay, good. All right, I like that. So, Brawl Out never happened. So, CM Punk, it was right after he won the title, right?
Yeah, it was right after he beat John Moxley for the title with a torn tricep at All Out, 2022?
That's right. We didn't know he had a torn tricep at the time. We just thought that
it was all wrapped up. He had like a towel around it with ice, I think.
Yeah, but like we didn't find out until, like, I don't know, a couple hours later.
Yeah,
like, oh my God, he's actually really injured.
Not only is he angry, he's injured.
He's angry, he's injured. Okay, so he shows up at the press conference and
he's got his muffins. He's got his lime spin drift. What's his demeanor?
He's maybe on the way to the press conference. Somebody stops him and says, "Hey, look, man, I know you're upset about all these, rumors and allegations and all these leaks that had come out. Just bottle up for right now, and then you can talk to Tony Khan in private later on. Just get through this press conference."
So
okay?
he's sitting there. Like he's in pain from his tricep at the same time he's trying to bottle it up. And it's like,
right, exactly.
He looks like he's physically in tons of pain because he's trying to like...
Right. And then...
he sees Nick Hausman over there.
Nick Hausman over there.
Oh, I want to say something so bad I can't do it though.
All right, so I'll pick it up.
Great show, Tony.
Nick Hausman's over there, and he says, "Hey, CM Punk, can you please talk about, the various rumors and leaks that have..."
No, if you remember correctly, it was CM Punk that saw Nick Hausman and started the conversation.
That's why I'm saying he doesn't do that this time.
All right. Nick Hausman brings it up.
But Nick Hausman brings it up,
Gotcha.
and he says, "Can you please talk about the Elite leaking nasty things about you in the press?" Meanwhile, Tony's sitting here sweating. Oh, God, this is going to go bad. I can already tell this is bad.
And this is what Punk should have said.
Okay.
Anything you heard about me spreading information or being the cause of Colt Cabana not having a job here is factually inaccurate. If anybody else is telling you that's the case, they're lying to you. This should have been all he said.
Okay.
But he's saying that through gritted teeth because he wants to say more.
Yeah, he wants to say so much. Yeah. So he's able to get through the press conference without burning it all down. Okay? We're all learning here, Tony. That never happens.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, the microphones are properly modulated and not weird.
Yeah,
okay?
no one sounds like this.
Nobody sounds like this. So he leaves the press conference.
Yeah.
But in the hallway, he does see the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. There you go. So he walks past them, and again he's like, oh, he can't.
He's literally doing this.
Yeah, he's doing the Bronson thing, right? And so they flex on him, he flexes on them, but
no punches thrown. That's it.
No punches are thrown. How about this? Eddie Kingston happens to be in the area, and I feel like, contrary to Eddie's volatile personality on camera, maybe he, being a man of the people, maybe he can be kind of an impromptu arbiter.
A calming influence.
Right. He shows like, "Hey, what's your problem? What's your problem over there? I got a solution." And out of his back pocket, he gets an entire Reese's pie. "Hey, want some Reese's pie?"
He's like, hey, any problem the four of you might have, we can solve it. Let's sit down, share some Reese's pie,
right?
And we can get to the bottom of all this, and we can all be friends going forward. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. And so they all of a sudden, like, a poker table is produced, and they all sit right there in the middle of the backstage area or wherever they are.
Yeah.
And they all sit down and they enjoy some Reese's pie together.
And they hash it all out.
And
everything's great.
Can you guys stop spreading misinformation, disinformation about me? Because it hurts my feelings. Makes me feel bad. And they're like, no, we can't do that.
And by the way, it wasn't us anyways.
Yeah, it wasn't us. It was guys that were telling to do it. And then after that, he still has to go away for like a really long period of time.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and they give him Collision. And I'm sorry, but it just seems like it wasn't a good fit.
It was just a matter of time.
I think it was just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time.
Like even if the brawl out stuff doesn't happen, like he would have had to have been completely on the same page with all those people, and it just seemed like an ill fit. Let's face it, it's why Cody left and made a bigger deal of himself in WWE, because nobody can work with the Young Bucks.
Interesting.
I'm joking about that. Oh no, maybe not. What do I know? All right, here we go. Next. Oh, more CM Punk.
Oh.
The True Kid Goku says, what if CM Punk had broken Taker's streak at Mania 29? So, of course, as you know, Undertaker's streak was broken by name redacted at WrestleMania 30. But what if CM Punk broke the streak? I will go first on this one. So,
right.
Of course, The Undertaker, as you know, Larson, is at various parts during his career, a supernatural character.
Yeah.
And you would think that whoever beats The Undertaker would somehow absorb his powers. Now, CM Punk, he's a lover of comic books. Comic books, oftentimes, there is an entire genre of comic books, including The Undertaker's own comic book, that has supernatural elements to it. So, Raw after Mania happens.
Yeah.
CM Punk comes out, Cult of Personality place. He comes out, and he's like, hey, the voice of the voiceless silenced The Undertaker, the dead man. He's gone forever. I did it. He's 20-0 or 20-1 now. Is what it is.
Yeah.
20-1. And so Paul Heyman goes to shake his hands, and they shake hands, and he goes, zzz, and he's like, oh my God. And he just fried Paul Heyman.
But then CM Punk goes, no, I got one of those hand buzzers here.
Hey, it's a hand buzzer.
It's a hand buzzer. And so the whole idea is CM Punk's like, I have supernatural powers now, but it's all like novelty stuff he got at Party City.
And then he changes his theme song because he's like, okay, I've got the novelty party gimmicks from Party City.
Yeah.
Now I need the goth attire, right?
Yeah.
And he sort of mistakes goth for German expressionism. And so he replaces Cult of Personality with the Sprockets theme song. And so now instead of it changes to now is the time on Sprockets of Envy dance. Dun, 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 dun. And he does that all the way down to the ring, and he's got a bunch of German dudes,
and he's got the turtleneck.
He brings Gunther and Imperium from 2014 or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know what year it was. He brings those guys out as like
2013, I guess.
Whatever. They probably weren't even wrestling back then. But he brings out some German dudes.
Yeah.
In some tight, black outfits.
Yeah. And
they're all dancing with him too.
Yeah.
And he acts like he's a guy from East Germany now.
There we go.
So
we did it.
This is probably not what anybody was hoping.
Well, that's what they're getting. The Don says, what if the original All In never happened?
So this, of course, was a bet. What if the tweeter never tweeted the bet to Dave Meltzer that said, hey, I bet these guys can't sell out 10,000. And Dave Meltzer was like, oh, really? And then Cody Rhodes like, bet. And so they did it.
What if Cody was like, instead of saying bet, we can, he was like 10,000? I don't know about that. Maybe it's
5,000. Okay, yeah.
Which doesn't quite have the same ring to it. So instead of booking Sears Center in Chicago, they go to the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles.
Okay, all right.
Which maybe holds like 2,000.
Yeah, and it's all ish in.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really cost that much
money.
No,
it doesn't mean like we could probably rent out that place.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And so they have the show, but since it's just at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, so it's only about 2,000 people. Like they don't get like Kota Ibushi or Okada.
Yeah,
and it's literally like it's literally like the NWO sold out pay-per-view where it's an all elite show.
Yeah,
it's like, just the elite wrestling the elite.
It's like 4 matches on the card.
Yeah,
it's like Cody and Dustin versus the Young Bucks, and then Nick Jackson versus Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Wait, Adam Cole's not even
Adam Cole's in NXT at the
That's
time.
It's NXT. So
it's Kenny Omega wrestling Lenny Omega.
So it's a really, really low key version. And Tony Khan is never like, wow, this is really impressive. I could do something with this.
Yes.
Instead, he gets on the Wrestling Observer message board and he just talks all sorts of shit about it. And then the Elite end up signing with WWE again.
Yeah.
And maybe Triple H takes to them so much that he rebrands NXT in total all around the Elite. And he says, okay, we're going to change. Listen, there's only once in a lifetime opportunity. You know how he does his big grand speech.
Yeah.
There's once in a lifetime opportunity where a sea change paradigm shift happens. And he's talking to the camera. He's like, welcome. NXT has now become All Elite T. Because I don't know what the NXT stands for.
I don't think it stands for anything.
What does it stand for?
It's next.
That's what I thought, but there's no
Just
E
next.
in there, so it's not next.
Yeah, I know.
Next. That doesn't make any
That's what it
sense.
is.
So now it's All Elite T. So he's like,
That makes even
AET.
less sense. At least you see NXT. It's like, oh, that's next. They're next. This is developmental.
NXT.
They're next.
Yeah, so it's All Elite T. And
You look at that. It's like AET. They misspell 8.
So yeah, AET becomes the thing, and they actually start to tour because people are actually interested in seeing them.
But venues no larger than 2,000 because that's all they
That's
could fill.
all they could fill.
For the all in,
yeah, exactly. Even though there was like a huge backlog of fans who wanted to go,
They're like, nah, we're 2,000.
they're like, that's fake. That's got to be a glitch.
Yeah.
I don't believe
Yeah.
it. I don't believe
There's
it.
something wrong with the Ticketmaster website.
Right. All right. You're next.
No, I just pulled that one.
You did?
Yeah.
All right. I'll pull this one here. Brett Reviews says, what if Top Notch never lost to Mecha Santa? You know what we really need to do? God, what we really need to do. We need to take Top Notch versus Mecha Santa out of
Yeah.
Interdimension Tension.
Yeah.
And just do a commentary track on it, and then re-release it on Friendo
We
Claim.
should do the whole saga.
Well, let's start one thing at a time. That right there, that just sounds like too much work. What I said is we just dig one slice of video out,
Yeah.
and then we do commentary, and then we see if it does well.
Well, I mean, remember correctly, of course. Top Notch beat Mecha Santa for the H title.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
He was the H champion until he lost it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking a forever reign at that point. If he bests Mecha Santa, if he gets out of that Boston Crab on the floor,
Yeah.
and hits a burning hammer
Oh yeah. Right.
on Mecha Santa,
Yeah.
we're talking a forever reign.
I mean, you know,
Because at that point, sorry, Mecha Santa's got no legitimate shot at
he's
the title.
done. He's done. Mecha Santa's done.
Done.
And I agree with that. What about Butch Bacon? Butch Bacon can't be the Cody of fun wrestling.
I mean, he only ever won in non-title matches.
Okay. All right. Who eventually got the best of? It was Funhouse.
No, eventually it was Rawgate Mutant beat both Top Notch and Mecha Santa.
Was that canon?
I believe so. I believe that was Interdimension Tension 3.
All right.
So Rawgate Mutant is the top of the mountain now.
Well, he's still top of the mountain.
Of course. Probably forever will be.
Him or Ice Cream Man.
He was unbeatable. This comes from Lewin.
Okay.
Says, what if Stone Cold never went bald? Blonde Stone Cold still have been a megastar.
If Steve Austin had Michael Hayes' hair, which is like a really great head of hair, would he have? Because, you know, like he was also like old school Southern. Like he would have kept that long for as long as he could have.
Yeah, I would have rocked the mullet for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Because it is kind of funny just how different Stone Cold Steve Austin was. Like going from no facial hair and a crew cut.
Yeah.
To completely bald with a goatee.
Yeah.
Completely different human
Oh,
being.
it's completely different. Completely different. If the idea that he was basing his character on was that Hitman or whatever.
Yeah,
it was,
the Iceman.
and he was out there rocking a mullet
Yeah, right.
while
yeah.
trying to be super intense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So if he had kept hair, like he might have been able to get away with the buzz cut maybe in terms of fitting the character. But if he had a mullet, no.
You know what could have worked? Yeah, the mullet definitely not, but I do kind of feel like if he had gone with like, you know, a short haircut, but those really thick glasses, like all serial killers, they
Yeah.
all have
No, I
like
know what you're talking
super
about.
thick glasses.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And like a mustache, like the 80s look.
Yeah.
I think he could have done
Like
something
the
with
dude
that.
from Manhunter.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
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 That.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea though, maybe like an anti-authority figure who's also a male model. You know, You can't hold me down. I got a glamour shot shoot coming up at 3 p.m. You can't hold me down. I'm going to be the most beautiful man on planet Earth. Nah. You know? Would it be the intensity of Stone Cold Steve Austin? But he was also highly into. Did you put on your, what do you call that shit that you put on your face?
Aftershave?
No. Well, did you put on your moisturizer? What's your skincare routine like,
There
you
you go.
dumb son of a bitch?
That's good.
Look at you. You look leathery. You know,
That's good.
you look way old. And hey, who's got a good lens out here? I need some good Latin. You getting my good side?
He says, what's your diffusion using on that camera?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, why don't you rub some Vaseline on the camera
You
lens?
put a sock over it. Yeah.
Put a sock over it. I'm not drinking no Steve Weisers. That's bad for your skin.
It's gonna put weight. I'm gonna put weight on if I drink that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna look puffy.
Give me some water. Some sparkling water.
I need some sparkling water.
He could,
You know what? No, you know what it'd been? It'd been like that guy who played Ric Flair in the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
Why did that guy say, whoa?
Whoa!
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, Kerry Von
Whoa!
Erich. He said, whoa. Last one. Here we go. No poets allowed. So what does he got against poets? He says, what if Vern Gagne won the Hogan War? The war over Hogan. You just give him a lot more money.
Yeah, give him a lot more money.
So
hey, maybe they made The Wrestler 2
Yeah.
starring
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, yeah.
And then it'd been a national wrestling office at that point because it's like, oh, this Vince guy wants to go national and make a movie.
I'm gonna go. Yeah.
About my territory, wrestling office going
Yeah.
national. It's a national wrestling office. Hogan starts the NWO in 1984.
Yeah, and instead of Cyndi Lauper, I'm gonna have Bob Denver in here.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. What's weird to me, what's crazy to me is this is probably just lost to the ages, but I was reading that I'm in a forever read of this Death of the Territories.
Yeah.
Because it's a fairly redundant book because it's chapter after chapter of Vince going around to territories buying everything.
Yeah.
But the checks that he's cutting are ridiculously large. And I'm like, where is he getting this money from? Because he had spent $1 million on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But he had to borrow that.
Yeah.
Where did he get? He spent $1 million. Well, I guess he used the proceeds from WrestleMania to pay his dad back,
Yeah.
the rest of the money.
Yeah.
But it's where did he get all the money in the first place to buy all these territories?
I know.
There's something shady going on there too, but we're never going to know about that. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Wrestling What Ifs. If you like it, we'll come back next week. If you guys think this is terrible, I don't care. It was really, really fun.
It's fun.
Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today.